Welcome to yet another episode of Conversations with LJ. Remember, Conversations with LJ is a talk show that brings you exceptional and phenomenal people in our lives. We talk to people that worked hard to achieve their dreams and aspirations despite facing many challenges in life. We also talk to people that have touched other people in a very special way. We talk to people who bring us inspirational and motivating stories. And before I continue with today's show, let me take this opportunity to thank you profusely for the support you gave the show on the interview that I recently had with former President Khama. The likes are very good. It's actually the most viewed at 30,000. At Conversations with LJ, we celebrate every milestone, and that this milestone is worth celebrating. And I encourage you to keep sharing the content with others and keep inviting other people to subscribe to the channel so that they don't miss more shows that are coming on board. And I was very lucky this time around because I'm able to record back to back. The kind of guests that I bring to my show are very difficult to get. And it's not like the one that I'm talking to today was easy to get to. We had to postpone because of circumstances beyond their control, but they made it today. I'm talking to a very interesting man. I think he's a very likable character. By the time he gets on camera, he's definitely going to laugh. I can bet on that. I'm talking to a man who used to be a politician. I think he is still. I don't know, he will tell us. None other than Samson Moyo Guma. Some people call him Samson Moyo. Some call him Guma Moyo. And I guess this show will give him an opportunity to say exactly who he is. Ramoyo, welcome to Conversations with LJ.
Say, how are you doing?
I'm right. I can't complain. My heart is in the right place, and I believe so is yours.
Yeah.
The other day we met at the Daily Grind, and you called me Majai Koros. Where did that come from?
No comment.
You were like, Majai Koros. But I'm not a beneficiary of that.
I don't know.
Or is it because I used to work for the initiator?
Yeah.
Anyway, as I'm saying, I know you to be Samson Moyo Guma. Some people call you Guma Moyo. Can you tell us your official names?
My full names are Samson Moyo Guma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Guma is the surname.
Guma is the surname.
And where are you from? I know this might not be serious, but you know, people that you used to drink from the same cup with have accused you of not being a Motswana, being a Zimbabwean and all of that. I guess you remember those, and it's water under the bridge. I'm not trying to Where are you from?
First and foremost, I speak Ndebele at home.
Mm-hmm.
Ndebele is part of the the Nguni speaking.
Yes.
I'm very proud of my language, and I'm very proud of my relatives. My relatives are in Zimbabwe and South Africa and Swaziland. Mm-hmm. So that's where we blend.
Okay.
However, I was born in Francistown.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Monarch location. Went to primary school at Tatitown Primary School. And briefly we went to open up Monarch Primary School, and then my father wasn't comfortable with the school in Monarch, sent me back to Tatitown, and then Matas Bay. I can go on, but I'm born in Francistown.
Born in Francistown.
Yes. But I'm more fluent in Kalanga than in Ndebele.
In Ndebele, but I understand most of the border villages, Bo Sivia, Bo Jakalasi, Ubuya Ndebele and all that.
Yes, you see, when we grew up, there was no border.
Uh-huh.
The border was just a river, there was no fence. Mm-hmm. So we spent Haridisa.
Yes.
Spent maybe the whole day in
the foot and mouth is
on the Zimbabwe side.
Yeah.
And then we bring cattle to for drinking. Mm-hmm. We meet with the Zim boys and mm-hmm. we start fist fighting mm-hmm. for survival. Mm-hmm. Even during Rhodesian War, they'll be fighting, we're there, we're watching. Uh-huh. Very dangerous scenes. Mm-hmm. So it was just a separation of, or let me just put it on the context. My mother, on my mother's side, there were 7. 3 stayed on Botswana side. There's a village called Sabeni. It's just not too far from Butale. You just cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just jump the river. So our parents, my mother stayed on Botswana side. And it's the same thing with my father. But the siblings on my mother's side stayed, there are about 4 of them, stayed on the Zimbabwean side.
Oh, yes.
One of the sons to the sister to my mom became a member of parliament in that area and became a minister.
That's very interesting.
So we had not planned, and I had not clue.
No, I know this kind of arrangement. Look over Bonong. I know I have somebody I go to church with.
Yeah.
Even and his siblings, some of them are on the Zim side.
Yes.
But Bonong and then Boneba on the Botswana side.
Yeah.
Even the Mobo Ramatlaba, Mahobo Pizza, and these things do happen.
Yeah.
And then how do you relate with Samaya village?
I grew up in Matselagabedi village. Okay, my mom and dad separated when I was about 6, so we bought a plot for my mom in Zamaya.
Oh, yes.
Okay, my father was in Matselagabedi, my mom was on the other side. So that's how I relate with Zamaya.
Okay.
Yes.
And then tell me about Guma, the other Moyo, the young guy called Samson Moyo. How did you grow up? Yes, you mentioned fist fighting and all that. What kind of a child were you when you grew up? Were you naughty? Were you smart?
It was, my parents separated when I was about 6.
Yes.
So I had to live with my mom.
Yes.
I'm the 5th born.
Okay.
In the family. I was the firstborn son. So my mom always was with me.
Okay.
So it was a very, very rough life. We're living in the Monarch farms where my mom was working there with my stepfather. So the farm manager employed me to look after the goats at the age of 6, I think. And it was a bit harsh. So when I started going to school, I had only one trouser that I play with, and then I go to school again with. It was rough, but it was standard 1 up to standard 7. Winters will come and pass without you having a shoe. Sometimes you stay for 3-4 days. There's no food. You get something at school, malut. That's what you survive with.
Okay.
But it was a bit rough upbringing.
Yeah. You know, pardon me for asking some of these questions, personal questions. I tell people that I want, especially with you politicians, we really don't know you. We see you as leaders. We see you as Bahumi, we don't get to appreciate your background, one thing and all that. And this leads me to a question. Did your upbringing or your childhood or how you lived, you grew up, have a bearing in the kind of a person that you are today? Is there something that happened, like for example, I want to get out of this poverty, or I want to get my mother out of this poverty, for example?
When we're doing as in standard 3, I think I was always top in class, but obviously filthy, no clothes. And one day the teacher asks us, what do you want to be? So I was absent-minded. I was a big fan of Senator Kham. So he asked me when it was my turn, and then I said, I want to be president. So the teacher shouted at me, you are so dead, how can you be a president? And everybody laughed at me, it was tough. So for about a week, I wasn't going to school. So when I go there, there's a river in Tatisan.
Yeah.
Nche.
Yeah.
Or Tati.
Yes, I know that.
So I spent the whole week staying
in the river.
Yeah, crying, feeling a little bit out of place. But yeah, you know what? That was how we grew up. It was a bit rough.
I understand.
Poverty.
I understand.
But how our parents would survive was there was a lot of sharing. You would get a piece of palichi from the neighbor, and the following day you'll get also cooking oil the other side, sikiri from. There was a lot of sharing among the community.
Yes.
And and you grew up admiring leaders. I was an admirer of Rematante and Lee.
You mentioned Seretse.
Yeah, Seretse. Yeah, you would say, you know, when I grew up, I just want to be a good person, because we always liked them for what they were doing for us.
Oh, yes.
And but studying was a bit hard.
Okay. We'll get to the presidential ambition later on during the show, because obviously wanting to be Seretse meant you had presidential ambitions, but we'll talk about it at a later date. And then in terms of school, I never want to say what is your background in terms of training?
I wanted to be a lawyer. And it was tough to study at home, Form 5. Good in history, I think I got an A or B, I think, and English. And then I didn't get the grades to do law. So I quickly went to BIAC. It was tough to get through BIAC those days, to just squeeze myself in to do accountancy. And then I did our diploma in accountancy and business studies, and before I knew, Pricewaterhouse picked me from there as an article clerk, then as an audit assistant. Took me through a thorough grilling.
Yeah. Which we are going to talk about, by the way.
As an audit assistant, and then I became a senior. During those days, I think there was only 2 of us who were black. And the other one was in Gabs, I was in Francistown. But the training I got, I had to audit all these big companies that you can think of. I audited Standard Bank, Barclays Bank, Shell, farming. So I was exposed quite a lot to training. But in the meantime, also while we are studying, we are working, you have to study as well. So I think we're the first group to do ACC. I didn't like it. My mind was, I'm just going to utilize this opportunity and then branch up and go and do law. Unfortunately, I moved fast up the ranks and got promoted, and then later on I left to join that we call it the professional side when we were at Pricewaterhouse. So when you go to the commercial side, I joined PG Glass. I was an assistant financial manager. I think I was 26 or so. So then you get paid a lot of money. You have got experience. And then said, okay, I'm not going to study ACC. I stopped. And then I enrolled for an MBA course, which I think I completed, and I don't know what I did it was part-time. When we were called for graduation, I didn't see that I studied, but it bored me. So I was, I think, grilled a lot by Pricewaterhouse.
Oh, yes.
When I was young. So that's where I got my exposure.
Okay.
On the accounting side.
Okay.
Yes.
One question on the last question about your childhood. I'm asking this question because you are you can inspire young people listening to this. As you mentioned that you paid a lot of money at PG Glass. Did you remember the poverty that you grew up in?
No, I hasn't paid a lot of money at PG Glass. Other companies.
Okay, other companies, yes.
Yes.
But all I'm asking is, did you remember the poverty that you grew up in?
I had to always, first I had to look after my brother.
Yes.
And then I made sure that I look after my mother and other relatives. And then sometimes when I was studying, I was sending other people to school as well.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, I don't want to mention their names.
Yes.
And then I got involved in community projects, but most of the time, I would part of my money I was sending other people to school.
Thank you. You see why I love what I'm doing. We get to, I never knew this part about you. I said we bring people that inspire others, that have touched other people in a very special way. And a lot of us see you as a politician. We never knew that you actually sent some people to school while you were working, which is very phenomenal. We commend you for that. Now let's talk about, you are now getting into the public space now. Let's get to politics now. Guma, where did you start politics? Somebody once told me you were once in the BNF. Yeah, is it true?
No. I never had a card. Or even voting wasn't much. I only voted once. In Gaborone, I voted for Paul Rantau. Because he was a friend.
You mean before you joined politics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then I was invited when Northeast was divided into two. My sister, Mamuzila.
Sylvia.
Yes.
Okay.
And the husband, the late.
Yes.
I said, hey, Dad, there's an opportunity here. We only think that you can actually be on the other side and stand. I said, hey, I don't even have a BDP card. I don't have anything. But let me check whether it's something that I can do. I haven't thought about it. Because
So you're not involved in politics at that time?
No.
Okay.
And then I consulted my friend Ulopeng. We're together. And then he said, let's check with what Khama has to say. So we went to see former President Khama. He then said, that's a good idea. I said, but I don't have a BDP card. So they quickly arranged a card for me. And that was when Bulela Ditso was starting. So it was 2 years in advance, I think. So President Khama was standing for party chairmanship in Hansi.
In Hansi, yes.
So I mobilized people in the Northeast. But I didn't go to Hansi. Because I'd mobilized people and I didn't want my opponent, Rebutale, to know I'm involved. So I played it underground until the last day. So what I was doing on the underground, I was busy recruiting, understanding the constituency. Because my opponent was a very, very tough, strong man.
Yes. I was going to ask who introduced you into the constituency? Because more politics, what's in Mobato?
No.
What's in Mobato?
You see, the northeastern Francistown area, you know everybody. You know each other.
Oh, yes.
So you know where your areas is. So Matsala Kabedi, Matsiloje, Tati-Siding, Francistown, we all know each other. Okay. So I didn't need to, people who were already in politics are my relatives, friends, so I would choose who I want to go and see. But then I decided not to work with people that are already there. I decided I'm going to start afresh. So, and recruit new people who are not involved and then that do not know anything. What is important is the number. So we recruited quietly a lot of people into the party, quietly.
Here's a new recruit recruiting others.
Yes. So you only needed the number. So you can't get the number from the people that are already there. No. So in the constituency, I started with my relatives, friends, and loaded the voters roll with quite a lot of people. And everything was new. We're all new. 80%. It was young people who were voting. I had to come in with a totally new approach because politics then it was, you have to speak, you had to be a good speaker in a rally.
Yes.
So when we were being launched, the first person to speak was Rebutale. He was a very good orator. And then he was supported by almost the whole of Northeast in that rally. So I was alone, you know. I remember Bo Retiboni, Bo Re Scalemani, everybody that you can think of with a big name was behind the
Rebutale.
And then I went into that rally. I'm young.
Yes.
It was, I just deliberately told my supporters not to come. So he spoke for 45 minutes. I spoke for 2 minutes.
What did you say in those 2 minutes?
Because he was very aggressive. He was strong, boastful, I think.
And I guess dismissive of you.
Yeah. And then I just said, well, I didn't know that I was coming into a fight. I thought it was just, we are being introduced and we can share ideas. Now I think I can see it's a war. And then I said, sir, in the war there are casualties on both sides. Let the war begin. And I left, I got into my car and I drove off and left the crowd.
Was that arrogance or cowardice? What was it?
I was talking to him. He's my opponent. I have to intimidate him. I don't bother about the crowd.
But why did you ask your supporters not to come to the rally? Your tactics already were of a staunch politician, somebody who was seasoned in politics. But you're a new recruit. Where did you get all these tactics?
There's more politics in business than in actual politics.
Is that so?
Yeah. Business is tough. It's rough. So politics is just PR. Forget it.
Okay. So when Ramuzila approached you and showed you this opportunity, what were you looking for when you decided, yes, you're going to get
I wasn't looking for anything. I thought I would dismiss it. But then I consulted my sister and my parents, and then they said, no, it's most probably a calling. What was making me think twice about doing it, not really think twice, what was motivating me was, every time I went back home, I'm seeing the same poverty, the same suffering. My friends, I get home, there is no water. My people, my mother is getting water from Sivia village about 5 or 6 k's from where we stay.
Yeah.
The water that we get in the village is salty. And then you try and speak to the authorities. It will be very rough and tell you that, you know, it was, those are the
That's
kind
how
of
blunt
response.
they were.
But you see the same level of poverty. You know, I had the Range Rover and I'm driving home. And then I get back home. There's poverty. But so what are you doing with, can't you give back? It was a bit of an embarrassing thing to come back to see the same relatives, friends still struggling. And you're up there, you have everything. I thought maybe it's our time, the generation, to maybe pick up the pace a bit. But I said, maybe let me just try it for 1 or 2 terms, make an impact, and then go back and do my business.
And then you really got entrenched, and I must applaud you for Bopanzula. Let me use this word. Allow me to use this word. You are one of Mapanzula in the politics, because politics needs Bopanzula. I remember there was a time when I was still in politics. I happened to be a presiding officer. Was it 20? It was leading to 2024 elections, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember very well, your tactics really impressed me. I was just driving around the constituency. I get a polling station. Polling station. I was just amazed at how you did it. All that. I would go that deciding. Is it Patamatebele? Kitsana tengwatswa. Kia ko Matsiloje or Matselagabedi. You were so in touch with that constituency. And I found that to be very impressive. What was the driving force behind that?
You can't really be a politician if you're not in touch with the people on the ground. And you have to link up with people. You have to be part of them. You have to feel them. They have to see you as part of them. So what I used to do most of the time is that I get into a village, I walk, I get into their houses, I sit, we talk, I appreciate them. Sometimes I go with my admin officers, we take notes, and then we come back and assist these people. Because sometimes in a Kotla meeting, people don't talk, especially the ones that are very poor. But when you visit them, you can pick up the issues. So I think in my constituency where I come from, I would say I know almost 80% of all the households, every place I know them. And you can't lead people if you don't feel them, if you don't understand them.
That's true.
You have to have that personal touch. And the more you live with the people on the ground, you get entrenched because they tell you their challenges. It's no longer about you, it's about this human factor that sees you as a person that can assist. And sometimes when you walk around, you get into a house where you find there's nothing to eat. And then, but they voted you, but there's nothing to eat.
And they expect something from you.
Rightfully so, because you are the father. So I would, usually when I go around, I make sure that I've got something in the car. I remember one time in Matsilagabedi area, it was around 5:30, 6. So I went into this place. I wanted to check the infrastructure. And then when I found this man and his children, there were about 4 kids, and his wife. And when I was just about to leave, he said, "Sir, as you can see, there's nothing to eat. If you can just give me something just for today." Lucky enough, I had the 12.5. I had something in the, and then I gave it to him. What it helped me to appreciate that sometimes you see a nice house built by something and you think people are living okay there. Kandiki poverty.
Yeah. And you raise a very interesting point, Raguma, because like I'm saying, in my past life, I'll give you an example about myself. In my past life, I remember specifically while campaigning for Bulela Ditsu. I got into this household, and this old woman was very blunt with me. And the money that I had, but I had to go and buy sugar because now she was appealing to my conscience as a human being. So this drives me to a question. We see it as vote buying. And then you are now portraying it differently. But it's not about buying votes, it's about helping people.
You can't buy a vote, say. How?
12.5.
How do you know when he gets into the vote, he has voted for you?
So you waboha from the bottom of your heart.
Yes. Now, let me tell you something. You can't buy a person. You can't buy a voter.
That's interesting.
You spend money on voters to think that they will vote for you. Do so at your own peril. Okay. You become a team. You become a family. Mm-hmm. You know each other. These people must feel you as a father, as a brother. You have to be genuine with people when you lead them. You must listen more and talk a little. When you get into what we were doing, not I, because I've kept telling you that when you get into a leadership setup, stop talking about yourself. Build a team, build a family. Remember, you're talking about a community. It's not about being materialistic. It's not about materials. You must you must define development in terms of changing people's mindset. It's only when the people, you can't develop them, they develop themselves because they educate themselves. You can only facilitate that. So during that particular process of you being part of them, you form a common agenda, both of you. So you are no longer being seen as a leader, but you're being seen as part of a bigger family.
Oh, yes.
They protect you, you become part of them. So I must say to you, frankly, I think the people in our area got used to that culture. They are so used to the culture of respect. They are so used to the culture of giving and being part of each other. That is how we have managed to survive in that area, in the north, in particular in the northeast area. The values of Botho come first, of not allowing the other person to stay with an empty stomach when you have got a surplus. This is how I was brought up anyway. And then that's exactly one of the things that motivated me to take what I have and share. Because I can tell you, you can have as many millions in your bank account, the bed you sleep doesn't change. What goes into your stomach doesn't change. The air we breathe is free. You don't know the number of days God has given you.
Precisely.
So if you can, share.
Oh, yes. Talking about your political strategies, if I'm not mistaken, you never, or you addressed a few, I think you never addressed political rallies, but instead, let's call them town hall meetings. You instead called people to schools, into classrooms, and had conversations with them, all your constituents across the political divide. Am I right?
I had to develop that strategy when I have a problem in speaking the language that is used in politics, where the language is rough.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me. Even if I differ with someone, I still feel that we need to do so with a bit of respect. You don't get that in a rally. And then secondly, I have to be productive. So that tact I used it in my first primary election. I was targeting numbers. I don't want to go there and speak the whole day, address 20 people. I don't even know whether they are my supporters. And then I'm repeating what I know. I'm not learning anything from them. But in a closed session, we interact. We speak to each other. Somebody feels respected. Somebody feels he's part of the team when he can actually come and sit and have a conversation with you. So, as and when I'm educating, I'm campaigning, I'm ticking the numbers. By the time elections come in, I know that 80% or 70% of the people are going to vote. Not only are you also checking whether people have registered, do they have their IDs in place, are the issues that we say we are going to attend to, or where we said we are going to attend to, being attended to? What kind of audience or people are we going to be leading? Because you see, in a constituency, you have got the middle class, you've got the poor, you have got this. So you see, you must learn to separate them so that they can be able to communicate with you, and you then appreciate the kind of people that are going to be leading. You have different solutions for the youth. You also have different solutions for those that are disabled or no, or these other ones that are the poorest of the poorest. So that's the setup that I thought I was going to be. Just bringing in a little bit of business skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
You became a member of parliament, as you mentioned. And one of the things that I noticed about you when you were a member of parliament was, I don't know if a lot of people remember this. I think you brought a lot of change as to how members of parliament approach the budget speech. Because I remember so vividly you saying, when members of parliament get to the committee stage, they should not forget what the minister said, the minister of finance said. I remember so vividly you were giving the case of Bank of Botswana. I think Minister Wabona at that time, where in the budget speech, no Botswana is going to be profitable or something like that. What was said in the budget speech contradicted what was said in the Committee of Supply. Do you remember that change that you brought in terms of that? And what was the thinking behind your approach to budget speeches? And I believe a lot of MPs learned a lot from you.
Can I tell you the truth? 90% of members of parliament, when they go to parliament, have got no clue of what parliament is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Their main objective is to win
elections.
It's a job. Okay, now, getting back to budget. The budget starts around August, preparations. Around December, cabinet meets to agree on the budget. And then that document is then packaged together, tabled in Parliament around before the 15th of January, 15 days before. And then after tabling of that document, the minister must cause in the Gazette an appropriation bill, must gazette it. Now, the figures are there. The draft estimates are already tabled for members of parliament to have a look at. Okay. Then the minister prepares a speech that speaks to those numbers. And also that speaks to the bill.
The
appropriation bill means according to ministers, how government is going to be spending. So you need to actually appreciate the process.
Mm-hmm.
And the process also starts with the State of the Nation address, which is a prelude. What is a State of the Nation address? Normally, it's a summary of the budget in...
the previous year.
No, the budget that was tabled by the minister.
Yes.
So the president now, remember, the minister really speaks on behalf of the president.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his brains. You are speaking on behalf of the president. The man who's running the country is not a minister, is the president. So when the minister delivers this speech, he has been authorized and mandated by the president. So when the president then, at the end of the year, makes a State of the Nation address, from the first budget, February, and in the process, he makes certain statements that should alert you for the budget. Normally, budgets are coming from the National Development Plan. You are picking from there. So, unfortunately, nobody teaches you these things when you go to Parliament. Before, Parliament, you don't. When I had So, fortunate enough, for us, when we came 2005, our chairman was a very experienced person, PHK Kidikil. So when we were picked to go into PAC, because the previous Public Accounts Committee, the Auditor General was writing questions for members of Parliament to ask. So when we arrived there, we see this list of questions to ask accounting officer. We said, hey, wait. Are you teaching us to ask questions?
So, I believe you were in the forefront of that.
We said, no, forget about these questions. We will ask. So the chairman, because he had a lot of experience in government, guided us well. And then we started to learn governance. I started to use my experience before to start unpacking the budget. I remember one time, the minister then, when he was making a budget speech, made reference to the figures for the last financial year. And Parliament passed that budget when the figures were not correct. Because he was my minister on the BDP, we just let sleeping dogs. What you are supposed to be doing, because it's a bill, what you're supposed to be doing, you need to analyze this, the figures, financial, and the basis of assumption. So that when it comes to committee stage, you can make amendment and adjustments to the budget. You can only do so when you have knowledge. Members of Parliament don't understand that at that point in time when they're debating committee stage, that's the time for them to make amendments to the bill. They have the powers to say, move this amount of money from this ministry to this. Change this figure. They have the powers. But unfortunately, because we're not trained before we go into Parliament. You don't know really what you are going to do. You think it's about asking parliamentary questions relating to your area. When you get there, the game is different. So I had at least the opportunity by training to be able to examine the figures and understand the basis of assumptions. How are they arrived at? And then we started as a team to build each other. But again, at that time, we're sent to different jurisdictions. I was sent to Germany to understand the system, the German system. Sent to Canada to understand their system. Sent to Tunisia, different areas and also to Ghana to appreciate. During the 5-year term, we are being adequately trained. So when we were starting to debate, we had the benefit of where we come from, and also we were adequately trained, at least to deliberate on budget. So when you see us talking, it did not just come by chance.
Okay. Let's hope MPs watch this show and they learn from you. And by the way, is that why Rekhama appointed you Assistant Minister of Finance in your second term?
I think he told me 6 months before he took power that I must prepare myself. So I knew I was in cabinet.
Didn't at that time, I think MPs, politicians, you are very ambitious people. Didn't you think you deserve to be a full minister then?
I was uncomfortable. No. There was no way I could surpass Rekhaolat. He was more senior. It was important that one can understudy him and learn from him. He was, in my view, one of the best ministers we have ever had. He was a very seasoned man.
Yeah.
It was an honor to work under him.
Fantastic. Now let's get to party politics. That reluctant politician, who went in reluctantly, became immersed in politics now. I think you wore the gown Yamapolitiki, you knew all the tricks and everything. And you developed ambition in the BDP. At some point you became party chairman. Is it Komaun?
Yes.
Komaun. And you quit halfway through or something?
Yes.
Then why did you run for chairmanship? And what made you quit?
Remember when we were at BMD, remember? BDP had, and still, I don't know whether it's still there, factions, Barata Party and 18.
Yes.
So Rekola Khobe was a dominating factor. Rekhama, I think, wanted stability. Somebody who can stabilize things, a bit neutral. So when I came, recruited back into the BDP, I was then asked to stand for chairmanship. Kilimarata Party. but a bit moderate.
He seems
So-
to like moderates. In our interview, you talked about another Bharata Party moderate, Kwerepe. Anyway.
And then I then accepted to stand. And then I said, on one condition, that you, Rakama, don't get involved in the campaign. You stay out of it. And then it has to be me and my Vincent alone. If we are going to stabilize the party, you as the president should not get involved. You are the father. Leave us alone to stand. So we campaigned, but we didn't make it. I made it. So now, I believed in reforms and doing things right. But I didn't realize the power the party chairman had. So normally the party chairman has always been in cabinet. So I wasn't in cabinet. So the vice president was Rekidikilo. He's senior in
government.
In parliament, I'm his senior. So when they come from parliament, at a caucus, I'm the party chair. So if we're not happy with anything, the party takes a resolution. It can't go through. Okay, tension started. So then I was being viewed as somebody ambitious looking for the next step.
Were you not? No.
No,
Are you sure?
100%.
All right.
I'll tell you why. There were more people who were more senior to me. In particular, say, Plinomi Vincent. She was the most senior. Who deserved more promotion than us. Okay. So, and then I think TK Khama saw himself as the next VP. And then I had also in the party thinking that, the top six must always have a common position before we go to the Central Committee. When I introduced the hierarchy of reporting, there's the president and then there's the party chairman. And then there's the secretary general and then there's a treasurer. So the treasurer would jump me, no, not the treasurer, the secretary general prefers to...
Who was the secretary general, by the way, then?
Rebalopi.
Rabalobi, okay.
Preferred to be dealing directly with the president. And then I said, but can we work together politely without saying, in terms of hierarchy, you come
After me. Which was correct, though.
Yes. Lo and behold, tension started to happen. And then I think the tension was who becomes the next vice president. So the propaganda started to come that I'm eyeing for it. And I'm being sponsored by Robert Mugabe. The guys were very good at selling the propaganda. And then they started to mobilize to revolt against me, members of parliament, and the Central Committee. That if I don't resign, they're going to collapse the Central Committee. And then that would mean at that time we'll then have to go for a special Congress.
Who was leading all this campaign against you?
It was TK, and then I think the President Khama then was convinced. They convinced him. So there was a time when at the party caucus, which was going to be chaired by him, Khama, a motion of no confidence on me as the party chairman by members of parliament and the cabinet was going to be moved on me, and somebody tipped me. Vincent and yeah, then told me what was going on. Then I confronted Khama and said, hey, wait a minute. First and foremost, I told you, I have no any other ambitions except where I am. All right? And I'm comfortable. I'm not going to stand for elections again. Now, we are left with 6 months into the elections. You understand?
And this is leading to
2014.
2014, yes.
Where we are fighting each other. So you want me to fight another fight again and win the party chairmanship? Because if you go to a special congress, I'll still win anyway, and you'll be bruised.
You telling Khama at that time?
It's hard to think that I shouldn't say so.
No.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to understand.
The party will be bruised, both of us. So I said, let me give you an option. We shouldn't fight. I don't benefit anything by being party chairman. The history has been made. I have been popularly elected. Fact, you can't change that. You can't come and change it in parliament. You can't change it in parliament. You can't change the will of the people on the ground. I've been popularly elected. There's been no cheating. So you want to take it? Okay, take it. And then I'll resign and go back and be an ordinary member of parliament. All right, because yours is premised on nothing else. Theirs, seriously, it was more tribalistic than anything else. That's when you really see the color of politics when you try and ascend to power, I would say. You'll see. Because Botswana is a country, is a coalition of tribes, correct me?
Yeah.
So, which tribe do I come from? We are a minority. We have never said we will rule over the majority. We know ourselves.
But this country belongs to us all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it matters most, you'll see the color.
And
don't worry, you reach there one day.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in party politics. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of your colleagues then accused you of using money to buy votes, especially with the Maun Congress. They,
on the contrary, let me tell you what actually happened. You have to know your opponent very well. My opponent was heavily supported by the business community, and they were adequately resourced. We were not. So tactfully, we booked all hotels. A booking is not a payment, is it? So we're denying them an opportunity.
You used a lot of underhand tactics.
What can you do? Now, then we managed to get accommodation from
all the hotels.
No.
Majority of them.
No. We didn't. We didn't stay in a hotel. We managed to get accommodation from the community. You get what people need in an election is to sleep and shower.
Yeah. And eat.
And eat, that's all.
Yeah.
So we managed to get accommodation from Patwa Maung in different houses so that in an area where they will not be accessible, they will not be accessed by the guys with cash.
Yes.
So they don't know where they are. So they rushed going to check people in the hotel. They found, no, there's nothing. The people didn't turn up. There was nobody in the hotel.
So you just made a booking which you never took up.
So, they say wars are fought on deception. You have to deceive your enemy. Your enemy should never know when you are going to hit him and how you are going to hit him.
Okay. I think we're gonna push this interview to maybe 1 hour 45 to 2 hours. I'm sorry about that. Your next appointment will have to pardon me. And then there you are, you resigned. And then you went back. And then the Khama era passed. And then came Ramesses, whom you were very supportive of. What did you see in him? I know you and Rosalind and the others were
No, let me tell you. When we came from elections, the president called a caucus where he said, oh, guys, can you just vote and let me see who, but I won't give you the results. I want to see to assist me with choosing a vice. So we voted, he didn't give us the results. And then he said, now, anyone who doesn't want any position must come and see me 2 o'clock, because I'm going to announce my cabinet on radio. I'm not going to call you. You'll only come in for swearing.
Yeah, because the culture was you were called.
But once I've appointed you, you can't change. So if you are not comfortable with serving,
come and see me at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. So I went to see him at 2 o'clock. I said, we have discussed this. I can't serve in cabinet. I'm at the age where now I want to focus on my businesses. Please just excuse me if you have thought about me. He then said to me, who should I appoint as my vice? I said, sir, we're a country built on a coalition of tribes. BDP from that time, we had won 29, out of 29 constituencies in the north, we had won 25. We lost 4. The bulk of the opposition came from
the south.
From the south. And then we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. I said to His Excellency, we need to be cautious on how we build a nation. It cannot be that leadership always comes from the north. The bulk of your cabinet and people are all from the north. There is something that is brewing. Let us balance this equation. Just check somebody from the south who is not into factions, who is loyal to you, who also who is within our generation in the 50s. So when that person comes in, he will consider also the question of balancing and pick somebody from the north so that there is that balance. Nothing to do with parties. This is your last time to build this nation. If you don't take this advantage of building us, or assisting us to build, you will one day see the civil war, tribalism just spreading. And if there was going to be some tribal conflict, the people that are going to suffer more are people going from the north, because they're so spread all over. So just ignore the numbers, ignore the politics. Go for nation building. And then he says, who are you recommending? I said, at this point in time, the only person that I've seen who is not into factions, who is loyal to you, who can match the caliber of members of parliament then, President Boko was leader of opposition. Yeah. And I said, I think President Masisi, I then said Masisi will do. His answer was, I was thinking the same.
So you lobbied for Masisi to be vice president?
Yes.
In a way.
He didn't ask me. I didn't consult with him. We had not spoken about. We're just analyzing members of parliament and who, in view of what's there, who can we put? And then later on, I was made to believe Kosi supported.
The later as a cause.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's it. That's
Apparently, they were very close when they grew up, interestingly.
Yes.
Mokgweetsi and Isaac.
I don't know about
Yes.
that. I don't know.
But Re Guma, politicians are known not to be honest people, to lie to their leaders, to tell the leaders what they want to hear. Where did we get this guts to tell the president this candid truth?
The president is a human being first, and the position comes after.
But some people don't
So
see
when
that.
you are sitting
they always
there-
want to ingratiate themselves with the
When you are
president.
sitting there as a legislator, you are an advisor to executive. You don't tell them what they want to hear. An advisor tells His Excellency. When you tell the president, when you advise the president, tell him the truth. Or tell him what you believe is the correct position. He will judge.
Okay.
The question is how you present your issues. Where and when. If you decide to be very aggressive with the president in public and attempt to embarrass him, he will ignore the truth even when you are saying it, because you have undermined him.
Yes.
But when you have got a conversation like this with him, he's expecting nothing else from you but the truth.
All right. You were frank with Rakama with regards to who he should appoint as vice president. And we saw a very good relationship between you and Re Masisi. You even campaigned for him going forward and all that. And then there came a fallout. I remember your interview on radio when you said, if it's hot in the kitchen, then you must leave. That was before you actually left the BDP. What brought the fallout?
The fallout is when I decided to stand for Secretary General.
Was he against that?
Yes.
Who did he prefer?
He preferred Rebalopi.
And it's politics, the voters decide.
Exactly.
What was his business in determining who should be
That's for him to answer. Me, I was just saying every 2 years, everybody has to contest for position. And then I was availing myself of Secretary General position.
But your fight was so fierce. Was it all about just the Secretary Generalship?
Masisi was a very deep person.
What do you mean by deep?
He had his own agenda. And part of it, I think, the very same issue that I raised about balancing things. It appeared to me he was harboring a lot of things. Because to me, from him, I think he was more tribalistic than anything else. Because the language he would use, at times he would say to people, I think that was a manifestation of something deep-rooted in him. That now that he has got power, he can actually correct what is already in him, in my view.
Didn't you have an opportunity to sit and talk frankly with him, like you did with former President Khama?
He was evasive, he wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Didn't you have access to him?
It stopped. The tension became high. Why he was so? Like I'm saying, I think he was manifesting himself of the things maybe that he always had. Yes, I'm not being disrespectful when I say to him that tribalistic instinct sitting in him. He must outgrow it. Okay, and it is exactly what has made us where we are today. It's the very same thing that we were fighting and we were trying to correct when I was with President Kaba. That was the foundation. It was basically to build the nation, to bring us together. He was not the best. He was not the most senior. It was now more about what we do to going forward. Just like Makhaya picked Kama from the BDF. There were more people senior.
True.
he was in his own judgment, let me bring in somebody who can actually bring us together.
Yeah.
And then when Khamar put Masisi in there, it was more to build the party and also to build a nation that bring us together.
You left the BDP. That was history. You went to the newly formed outfit, Botswana Patriotic Front.
No, can I correct you? I didn't leave BDP. I was expelled by Mrs.
You expelled by, oh yes, you were expelled by
Yes,
Mrs.
yes. You know it is.
Please,
No.
please don't involve me in party, especially in party
No.
politics.
You are a politician then. Then you are then recruited to be his personal PA. So if there's a man who knows all the facts, it's you.
You know what? I don't want to bring myself into the equation.
Okay.
You might be correct, but I don't want to bring myself.
It might be correct. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But don't
I'll discuss this next time. By the way, there's a friend of mine, Shaba Kotla. He does this with me. We agree that someday I'll be sitting there. You'll interview me.
Okay.
You were expelled from the BDP, and I think you found refuge in the BPF. But I would say your fight with Masisi never ended to a point where you went on exile. Was your life really in danger, or you just being dramatic?
No, I wasn't being dramatic.
And I'm sorry, I'm not being disrespectful.
No.
Or downplaying your
That's
situation.
a good question. That's a good question. I wasn't being dramatic. Okay. You know, was Kama being dramatic when he left?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's for the people to judge.
Okay.
From what he said, he was not being dramatic.
Okay.
But that's his side of the story.
Yeah, but let me not go deeper and speak about that, because it's a story that is always very, very painful to my family.
I'm sorry about that.
It's something that can take the West out of you. You know, when a man feels his family is threatened and is threatened, you can always take the West out of yourself.
That's very true.
Yes. So I think Masisi's government was very abusive to all of us, to some of us. And it has left so much pain in quite a number of us. So it was not a joy as a member of parliament, if you want to see it. So a member of parliament claims to be his life in danger and he leaves. And then it's normal. Forget it. It's not really part of us. It's not a big deal.
And where did you go, by the way?
I was living in South Africa, sometimes in Zimbabwe, Mozambique, UAE, Swaziland.
And I know it's a very painful period to refer to. But how many years was it?
Maybe 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. How was life in those 2 years, shuttling between all these countries, not being able to come home? And you have got businesses. Yeah.
It was difficult not to be with family. Okay. Your children couldn't move out. They stay confined in the house. They can't mix. Traumatized. It was tough. So your relatives are dying. But for me, it was, yeah. But look, I'd gotten into a position to say, look, this is a war. When a war is declared on you, stop feeling pity for yourself. You just get bruised a little bit, stand up. You will have to fight back. So trying to feel pity for yourself is not in my DNA.
Yes.
The only thing that was there in me was I have to find the time and get back, and I have to fight back.
Okay.
And then I have to make sure, fighting back, I'm not going to be physical, but my opponent has to be out of power.
Before getting to that, have you been able to quantify the losses that you made, especially in terms of business or just life in general?
I had to start all over again. Everything was gone. So quantify it is difficult.
How has it set you back?
Financially, I remember one time I was at Michelangelo. I'd asked the waiter to give me some water, And then I got a call. Bridget said we should go and see Andrew Young. So I tried to swipe
So
50
bottle
rand.
of water, yeah. 50 rands.
Yes. There was money, I don't want to say how much it was in my bank account. It declined. And what was left between me, family, and life was the 400 puller that I had.
So the account was frozen or what?
Frozen, everything. I had nothing. So I had to start all over again.
And then you mentioned that at some point you made a decision to come back and fight your enemy and ensure that your enemy loses power. Did you achieve that?
Where is he?
He's retired and I think he's a happy man.
Retired, is he?
Well, yes, he lost elections, of course.
So
And I think he has taken up a role of a
you answered
statesman.
yourself.
Have you met since you came back from exile?
No, we've met at funerals. I think one funeral, one time.
And I read a tombstone unveiling the
Yes,
deciding.
yes.
I remember you told me.
Yes, but look here, it was politics. You have to understand it. Sometimes you understand it when you are inside.
Does that mean you've buried the hatchet?
Let me tell you something. I don't harbor anger against him because it's not worth it. Okay? The Bible says, love your enemy as you love yourself. What it means is, don't wish them bad, but don't waste your time again wanting to sleep in bed with him. Me and him can't work together, but we should learn to live with each other and allow a situation where God has given us life and respect one another and appreciate that he's entitled to live. I should respect that. And then I also have to live. So sitting down and planning anger and whatnot is not in my DNA. I don't have time for that.
That sounds good.
It was politics. It was harsh. I think I took my eyes off the ball. And the guy came with a game plan of his, which he thought it would work for him. And then he achieved the things that he wanted to achieve. He would at all costs want to finish those that he will consider will be a hindrance to his game plan in the time that he'll be in politics, in leadership. And I wasn't part of his plan, and I had to be removed. Not only me, and those that he felt were going to be a stumbling block. But
Isn't that the nature of politics?
no, sir. Not all, no, sir, no.
All right. You came back, you were active in the BPF. And I think at some point you stepped back from politics, from the BPF again. Has there ever been a fallout between you and former President Khama?
Yes, I think opposition got penetrated. So they sold a story that I'm back, and even, I think, from what I hear, even President Boko was even told that I was working for Sisi, DIS was looking after me, even when I came back. So the opposition was really penetrated and told.
Do you know who told them all these stories?
Most of it was it would come from the security agents. Mm-hmm. Okay, deliberately. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then when Khama was paranoid, he genuinely believed that, he wasn't, he wasn't comfortable with me. And then number two, also that then he wasn't comfortable with the combination of me and Boko. And then he took a decision that no, the whole thing should collapse or he's going to stand for elections.
Oh, Rekama.
Yeah, for BPF. I said, you stand against me, practically speaking, you're going to lose.
You're that confident?
There's no way he was going to win against me, say. This is not a general election. Yeah, delegates.
Yes.
5 delegates from each ward.
Yes. Yeah. The last 2 questions. Yes. How is your relationship with Rekama now? I asked about Ramasis, then I want to know about Rekama.
It's brotherly.
Do you talk?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw him? Or rather spoke to him?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. So you are in good terms?
He's a man I always have high regard for. We differ, we never agree on a number of things, but we respect each other.
We understand, and I think you have said it, that you are done with, no, not done, but you are out of politics. But your name, this is the final question now. Your name has been cropping up lately that you are one of the potential contenders for the BDP presidency. Which political party membership do you possess as we speak?
BDP wrote me a letter.
To say your expulsion is rescinded.
So I think...
Just like Rekama.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no any other. I had somehow 3 years or so, I had applied for UDC membership. I never got a response, so I can't stand up and claim to say I've got a membership for UDC.
What BPF?
No, BPF I resigned.
You resigned from the BPF?
Yes, I resigned.
UDC, they never responded to your application?
Yes, yes.
So now it's your turn. Have you responded to the BDP?
There's no need to respond. The facts were stated in a manner that was saying the situation,
so as it is now, you are BDP.
The membership that is the membership that I have right now, which I have officially, is the BDP membership. Yes,
and do you have,
factually, I've never known any other party that I grew up with, to be honest, except the BDP.
Final question. If regions of the BDP were to approach you and ask you to contest for any central committee position, let's say for party presidency or chairmanship, let's say party presidency or chairmanship, I'm specifically focused on these two for a good reason, would you accept?
No, they have already approached me. I'm considering it. I haven't made a decision.
The Gumas, it's always a pleasure to have a chat with you. Whenever we meet, we sit, we chat, we laugh about things. And one thing I loved about what you said, it's about forgiveness. You know, when you harbor, I think that is very important. We should learn to forgive, and we should also try the best we can to bring reconciliation between former President Kama and former President Masisi. I think it's in the interest of this nation.
No, it's not in the interest of the nation. It is in their interest. The nation has got no business to be involved in how they feel about each other. Why should we be chasing 2 men who have got their own issues? You see what I'm saying? Are you going to be telling me that somebody must go? You don't think people in the 30 East got really hurt when their member of parliament just is ceremoniously dismissed? So what do you want us to do? To be and then what value do we get out of that? What value?
Nothing. As I said,
get out of it.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and good luck. I hope you make the right decision in the consideration of the offer that has been put on the table. I'm not advising you to do anything. I'm just saying I hope you make the right decision. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much for finding time to come and talk to me.
Thanks a lot, sir.
All right. Well, that was the Gumas, the Moyos, Samson Moyo Guma. I believe the conversation was worthwhile. It gave you an opportunity to appreciate who really Samson Moyo Guma is. It gave you an opportunity to appreciate some of the issues that he's gone through in the past, some of the situations that has been in the past. And I strongly believe that you've really been inspired by his story. Till we meet again, take good care of yourself. And remember, don't forget what he said. Forgiveness is key. Forgive those who have wronged you, even those that have never offered that apology. Till we meet again, thank you.